All right. Are we ready? No, we're not because I clicked the other thing. Now we're ready. Okay. So now we're going to talk about whether Magic Johnson and the 86-87 Lakers would have been successful in the 2018-2019 season. And the champions from that season were the Toronto Raptors.
So the pace in this season is completely comparable to the 1986-1987 season.
Yep.
Because of that, I feel pretty confident in saying that the Lakers would absolutely smash everyone in this era. Completely smash them. You got the Hawks. They don't even win. The Hawks don't even fucking win, and they have the fastest pace. And then immediately followed by the Bucks, the team that has the most wins. Very confusing. Very confusing time we live in.
So time out, Russ. Just because we have the champion there, we got to remember who the champion beat. So are we saying the Lakers are beating the KD Warriors? I'm arguing against that. I think the Warriors at full strength, I think it's gonna be too much for that Laker team.
So
if we talking no injuries, we're just talking straight up the team. So it's pretty much almost arguing pretty much the 2017-18 or the 2017 Warriors pretty much.
Right.
You're putting against the 87 Lakers. And I think that Warriors team will run them off the floor.
Completely healthy, we're assuming, right?
Yep, 100%.
Who's guarding Kareem?
That's fine. Who's guarding Kevin Durant?
I know, but who's guarding?
Who's guarding Steph? Like it goes back and forth.
Michael Cooper can guard Steph or Clay. Like they match up, and Byron Scott could. I'm not saying like shut them down 0 points, but like probably keeps them to under their average. Like probably like 22 points a game for Curry. Like
Curry at that point.
No one's stopping Magic from getting 25 and 12. No one.
Yeah, but that's fine because Kevin Durant is going to be averaging 35, 8, and 8. He's going to do the same shit he did to LeBron to them. You're going to have to double Magic. There's no way you're going to stop not Magic. You're going to have to double Durant. That means if you leaving anyone one-on-one with Steph and one-on-one with Clay, they're getting the 25 points.
You think they go and double Durant?
You have to.
Who do you think's better in the transition situation?
The Warriors.
Oh, I don't know about that.
You want to know why, Russ? You have to worry about two separate things. You got Durant running. Got Durant running the wing. You got Curry running up the ball. You guard. Who are you gonna stop? You're gonna stop Durant from getting the easy dunk, or you stopping Curry from getting the open three? It's a way better transition game because you have more options now. With that Laker team, it was all layups and dunks.
I don't know how. Maybe, I guess, but and you just don't think they'll. Yeah, I mean, I could see.
Threes are more than twos. That's literally just the equation that's been a thing for the last 5 years, pretty much. And the Warriors are the best 3-point shooting team. Like when you need it, you got 3 of the best shooters ever on that team, and you got a Lakers team who has no shooters.
I'm probably digging a little bit, and I'm aware of that, but
because remember,
this is one of the least motivated teams of all-time great teams of all time. Like that was the most confusing statement I've ever said. This is one of the least motivated all-time great teams ever. This
2019 team?
Yeah, this team that we're talking about right here. Talent through the roof. Talent completely through the roof. But we're looking at the same situation that we were talking about with Shaq and Kobe in terms of chemistry. And I think it's at this point it's deteriorating. But I am completely nitpicking. I'm just saying there is no solid leader on this team that's better than Magic. But I don't know if that results in a 7-game series victory.
As a unit though, I think it's just overwhelming for Magic.
I think it's kind of hyperbole to say this, but I think that the Lakers team is way more mentally tough, personally. But
I agree. I agree with that.
I completely see the case for I could see the Warriors winning in 6, despite saying all that, because there's no advantage in terms of experience. Everybody here is in their prime, and there's just too much talent on the floor. And if I'm worried about, like, if you put this insane starting 5 towards the end of the year, even with this DeMarcus Cousins, he's still stretching the floor from the 5 spot.
Yep.
Like this,
Kareem. That's what's gonna make Kareem not be as much of a factor too.
And that's what I was saying. That's what I said before. So if I say that about Miami, I can't not say that here. So I just don't know who's. I guess Durant's the only one who's killing them on the drive and dunk, but he can definitely do that. He's capable.
Curry was driving by people too. It's not like he wasn't dunking, but he was making Curry, because of his shot, you have to play him closer, and that's what makes him get by you. So my main thing is that those 5. Oh, you got it. What were you saying?
I'm sorry. He did take more 3s than 2s though, Curry, where Durant did not.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's part of the system though, because Durant is the primary scorer now. If this was I'm sure if this was like 2016 when Curry had his MVP, it would probably be a little different because he was able to do whatever he wanted, but now he had to kind of fit into the system a little differently.
It's always crazy to me when I look at this how much better of a shooter Clay and Curry are to Durant. Like, it's insane. So much better. And they're just shooting so much more. It's crazy.
And I was gonna say, for you, like we mentioned in 2011, 2012, how the coaches didn't really know much about the positionless lineups. This is the epitome.
I'm saying Pat Riley doesn't know about it. So I get what you're saying.
And I just feel like when you put that Laker team here in this era where it's all about the 3-point shot, I think that Laker team doesn't look as great as it normally would have looked in other eras because you don't have that 3-point. You don't have that. You have that. The biggest advantage of the era is totally stacked against you.
So my main concern would be, or not concern, but my main thing for why I think the Lakers would thrive in this era is because they would be second, I think, here in points per game. And they would either lead the league in assists. Yeah, they're at 29 point. Hold on, I got
it's about the same. I think it's literally to the percentage point. It might be the same.
So we'll go back one. So that's my whole thing. Is like, there we go. So we got. Oh no, they're not at 117. Lakers are down here. They're at 108. So 108.
So they're scoring what? 10 more points.
There. No, let's just put them in normally because the pace is pretty.
Well, if they average 108 here, let's say they start shooting a little bit more threes, I could see them being at 117. That's 2 more threes a game.
I'll say 112. I'll put them at the lower end.
Okay.
Just because I don't imagine in my head, I can't put them. I can't just do that. I can never do that. I can never take a team from the 80s and just go, yeah, they'll shoot more, because that's just not what they did. Even if you tell them, old people, they're gonna be stubborn. Like, even if you put these motherfuckers in a time machine and bring them now, and you tell them, listen, the 3 changes the game. There's gonna be a percentage of them. I just can't imagine.
It's like, I don't really know. I'm not sure.
Yes, they were.
We'll keep doing what we do.
Kind of doing that because they had their guys that stretched the floor and used the 3-point line, but it's just not the same as it is now at all.
Yeah.
But in terms of assists, I'm pretty sure they are leading the league at this point. Or no, 27. So 27.
Yeah. So the Warriors were averaging more assists than them.
But it's comparable, is my point. It's completely comparable to some of the best teams in this era.
Yeah. I think Kareem being you see how before Kareem was always my kind of X factor. Whenever I mention any of the series, pretty much Kareem was like the guy I would mention because he still could give you 20.
Yeah.
I don't know if his 20 matters in this series.
Magic would have to take advantage of the mismatch that he would have on him. Like they would have to put Draymond on Magic. I guess, right? I guess.
I don't think they could do anything against this Warrior team. And I know it sounds very like one-sided, but I just feel like because of the whole era change and so for me, a lot of the times that I try to control, when I'm talking about control and pace, like I'm thinking in my head, well, could the Lakers just control the pace, slow it down a little bit more, dump it to Kareem, and then I'm like, the reason you can't do that with the Warriors is you could dump it to Kareem, he could get a sky hook with 15 seconds, like scoring in 15 seconds or whatever, wasting some time, and then Curry or Durant or Clay is going to be hitting a three the next time up, and you're just going to be fighting with the 3-point shot way too much. Yeah. And I just think it's so difficult for that Laker team. And it just it's a little different than that Celtics team because the Celtics actually had shooters. So I felt like, or some shooters where you could say, oh, maybe they're going to do decent when they have to shoot more. The Lakers didn't really have that as much. And I feel like that's the biggest issue. The Lakers were bottom 5 or bottom 6 in 3-point the 3-point percentage and 3-point shooting. So, and the Warriors were top 5. And they're probably, I would say they're the best 3-point shooting team ever. Like with games that matter.
Sure. I would say games that don't.
Yeah.
I would say it's going on.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm just looking at it because if you click on the 3-pointers made that year, like Houston was obviously.
It's always going to be Houston, but they're taking 10 more than everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they're shooting at a high clip too, 39% pretty much.
Yeah.
What was that? Magic was shooting 20% from 3 at that. Like
Magic wasn't shooting nothing from 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing.
Yeah. So I just think the 3-point shot makes a huge difference in this era, and I think it makes it kind of overwhelming for that Laker team.
Yeah, I think the 91 Laker team stands a better chance.
Yeah, because they started shooting a little more and stuff.
Yeah, and Magic's a little bit better of a shooter.
Yeah, and you don't have the Kareem advantage, but
it might be a burden at this point.
Yeah, because Kareem's not gonna know what to do out because you pulling him really far away, and we saw multiple times where Steph will get the switch on big men, Durant, like that was really a big thing that the Warriors try to take advantage of whenever they faced a bigger team. They were like, oh, you're going to do that? So now you're going to have to try to guard our guys, and we're going to fuck you. And that's
absolutely
what they do all the time.
Completely matters.
Yeah.